Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we will actually be covering a special operation from our archives. This is from the Operational Intelligence files and ties back to the events that occurred at the end of Episode 1 with Ace and the unnamed RI Vanguard. This is also my way of correcting the voice I did for Patriot at the end of Episode 4. I was in a rush and forgot about how his condition affected his voice, as Chin ZW pointed out here, so yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, I'll get on with things. As always, spoiler alerts if you haven't read the story or watched the first episode yet, and with that, let's begin. We find ourselves back in the aftermath of the Battle of Chernobog, where, you know what? No, we're naming this guy. We're naming this guy. Real quick, thank you to everyone who responded to our poll where the RI Vanguard Auxiliary has been named. Anyways, Auxiliary starts to wake back up, somewhere tucked away within the ruins.
Oh, jeez. Huh? What happened? What am I doing here? Why am I lying here? I remember. We were infiltrating Chernobog to rescue the doctor. Oh no! Boss! Boss! No! No! The boss, Boss! Huh? What's this paper? Hold up, this... It's Rhodes Island Engineering Stationery. Who could have left it here? What the hell happened? Whoa, that's a lot of big words. And they're all over the place. Operator whose name I do not know. Hide yourself well. I had no opportunity to check your plate.
Nor do I remember your name. Please pardon the hastily scrawled nature of this message, as I am wanting for time. Do me the favor of reading to the end. First, do not fret. You are safe for the moment. However, you must not, under any circumstances, leave these ruins. The probability of the enemy spotting you before nightfall is quite high. To put it simply, you are at present completely surrounded by the enemy.
This isn't the boss's handwriting. Did it even come from Rhodes Island? I sure wrote a lot. Why didn't they just wake me up and tell me...
You came.
Huh? A voice? Is it reunion? Shit! No. Wait. It sounds familiar. It's that guy from the clinic.
Suddenly, Hellagur, a Liberi man with long silver hair accented by a pair of golden wings on the side of his head, comes face to face with Patriot, a heavily armored from head to toe, towering Sarkaz man accompanied by a handful of reunion soldiers.
You've managed to completely paralyze Chernobog. I am not sure whether I should be congratulating you. We have both contracted neuropathy. It's been years. Budrokaste. Or is it Patriot now?
So, you remember me, General?
Were it not for you charging so boldly into the fortress with the shield of yours, Barclay, Semyon and I would surely have died at the hands of the Casimiris Silverlance, Pegasus Order of Knighthood.
My warriors are brave. Do not fear sacrifice.
Your manner of speech is quite different now than it was years ago. I once witnessed you rousing the troops with your rhetoric, driving even Barclay the bald butcher to cheer your name. No easy feat.
The infection changed my vocal cords. Now it is difficult for me to speak fluently. Ridiculous.
As is this identity you have constructed.
Oh,
So, the Northern Tundra guerrillas. That was you leading them. I never would have imagined you could be running around with dozens of Wendigos. That cavalry commander, Alyosha Bluebeard, he made bet with me that you would become Grand Marshal of the USS Army.
just Staff Captain General. Times have changed.
I was jesting, but your loyalty, your record, and the plans you would devise in our staff meetings. You truly were the finest officer in all of Ursus.
You go too far. I am Sarkaz, after all.
If someone like you couldn't become colonel, the entire Ursus command should have been court-martialed. Of course, most of them are long dead.
Then I have outlasted them. Your colleagues are mostly dead. And His Majesty said, the army serves the country. Whatever is.
He also once said it is not blood that binds the Ursus people together, but conviction. What of that now? I can only hope His Majesty is ready to rest in peace. All our recent emperors have seen you as nothing more than monsters. You are not Ursus warriors to them. They have done everything they can to oppress your people.
That one, more enlightened emperor, has already passed. This, I understand. The war beasts of Ursus couldn't drown the world with their numbers. I am not special.
Then it is not because of the army that you left?
Correct. I do not care. I want only to stand, shoulder to shoulder, with my warriors. General, sit. Drink with me. I have some from the north.
Time grows short. Let us save it for next time.
Oh, very well. No matter.
Patriot then turns towards the soldiers.
Go to 4th Street. Find survivors. Do not threaten them. Minimize casualties. Look for supplies. Our stocks. Our law. As always.
Yes, sir.
The reunion troops leave Patriot and Hellagur alone.
I feared you dead.
Life underground is sort of death. Who am I today has little to do with who I was.
You idea. Less than ideal.
Chernobog has long been uninhabitable. The catastrophe makes little difference to that effect.
Seems you must leave.
The clinic has been extensively looted. We evacuated beforehand, but the loss is still substantial. It was only after I heard the rumors of your presence that I decided to stay here and see for myself.
I do not deserve such attention. It is dangerous here.
I wanted only to see how one of my few remaining brothers has weathered the years.
You did not. Those ties broke long ago. I will find out who did it. Your clinic. That was an aberration.
There is no need. At least, with you here, it is very unlikely that the reunion is responsible.
I cannot be sure. Reunion can be hard to control. There are some communication barriers. Still, General, you could join Reunion if Ursus was to be liberated. Then the infected and the others could live as equals.
Look here. Look around us. Look at this building impaled by our Originium.
I see it.
This was once a shopping mall. All the people in a 3-block radius depended on this building for their very survival.
The catastrophe destroyed Chernobog, destroyed the fortress, destroyed the city. I do not agree with the methods, but this was necessary. We had no choice.
It was not long ago that the clock tower was done up in colorful lights. Another dazzling array hung over the intersection below, bathing it in a warm glow.
The infected had no right to enjoy those lights.
You want to make the lights glow again, and I simply want to build another market. This is the difference between us.
There was a time when you would not compromise like this.
Perhaps. There may not be such a bright future at Rhodes Island, but I cannot say I feel much for this place either.
You simply do not wish to fight your motherland, General. Look at this city. Look at the infected. Look at the mall. Ruined by Originium. Look at the dead. And you have never been afraid to get your hands dirty.
Correct. Should Ursus move violently against us, we will not hesitate to fight back. But reunions, actions are rather outside my idea of fighting back. Look at this broken city beneath our feet. Reunion is provoking a war. And how many people would die in such a war? How many Ursus lives would a civil war cost? Imagine it. The Ursus devouring itself, massacring itself, obliterating itself.
General, what if the Ursus treated the infected as Ursus? Then there would be no war.
Excuse me.
What?
Reporting in. The leadership has made a statement. Chernobog is now completely under our control. We are broadcasting on all frequencies. The leadership has asked for a situation report from each division.
Right, I'll take care of it. Sorry, General. Wait a minute.
Patriot leaves the area, leaving the two of them standing there.
Does Reunion truly understand what they are doing?
How am I supposed to answer you, old man? Or were you not really asking? I guess all I can say is we're following the commander. No matter what the commander does, we're right behind him. If it's right, he'll do it. If it's wrong, he'll change. We believe in Tallulah, and we believe in the commander. We fight for the infected. Got it?
General,
Reunion has won a great victory, and yet I do not detect any joy in your voice.
should I be happy? If the Ursus will it, any city will be flattened. Such an outcome is most challenging. This battle, it confuses me. The Ursus response.
The war has already begun. There's no turning back now.
Perhaps I have been foolish. However, if I do nothing, the chains of the infected will grow heavier. Should we lose our conception of the struggle, we move towards annihilation.
So, you do understand the situation. You do know what you have done.
Yes, we are fighting for our lives.
Then I have no further questions.
Reporting in.
Sub-City Sector 3. Damage report.
Yes, sir.
Spare me the details. Save the civilians. It is dangerous. Protect yourselves. Don't be heroes. Bring a caster. Use drones to scout. That's what they're there for.
Understood.
Right. Where is it you plan to go?
Rhodes Island.
I see. Rhodes Island. But Reunion has just attacked Rhodes Island.
Why you? Amiya and Doberman. I hope they're okay. What should I do? What can I do right now?
If they move into Chernobog at a time like this, everyone would view Rhodes Island as an enemy. Why would they do this?
Unclear. But if there is nothing I can do to stop the conflict, we just had a warrior fighting alone, a Sarkaz mercenary, and the one from Rhodes Island was also Sarkaz.
The same sort of misery. There is no difference between them and Reunion.
The masses, fooled by the Ursus, But to us, we are compatriots.
Huh? A Sarkaz? From Rhodes Island?
But a mercenary fights for a fighting's sake. Rhodes Island warrior has a reason to fight. He lost, but he shot dead many elite troops. The new mercenary captain was at a loss, and the enemy, he led away from the ruins. He wanted to hide something he did. In the ashes was this thing. Please return it to them. A true warrior with no name.
I will.
What? A Sarkaz? Don't tell me that was Scout protecting me.
Go on.
30-some years ago, you wanted to have a test of sorts with me.
No. No longer. My armor, you could not pierce it. It would be unfair.
This armor is well past its prime, a far cry from the days when the army performed regular maintenance on it.
My armor is Ursus. I am a traitor to the Empire. It will deteriorate more and more.
And that is why you bear the name you do. When the Empire has done wrong, you stand up to her.
I cannot say, General. I did not choose this name.
Patriot? Is war with Ursus the correct course of action?
Naturally. Our war is righteous, if not the countless sacrifices were in vain. General, we both know the true solution. But they must not die in vain. Their deaths must have meaning.
But you have already risen up against Ursus.
I opposes the Empire, not the land, not the people, not Ursus itself. If the Minister of Medicine did this, he is our enemy. If a conspiracy of the legislature, we overthrow the legislature. If the army fabricated resistance, we destroy the army. Tallulah goes abroad, far-reaching. Mine are localized and specific. The past wars of Ursus were just. Now, the war of the infected is just. I fight for justice. Justice forever belongs to Ursus.
The two of them stand there in silence for some time before a reunion soldier comes to Patriot's side. Reporting in, we have arrested some reunion operatives who engaged in undisciplined behavior during the uprising. Here are their names. There were no operatives from teams 2, 3, or 6 among the primary instigators.
These are but a small part.
Well, I'm afraid this was a difficult investigation. Many of our comrades despise the Chernobogians. They're hesitant to inform on each other.
This is undisciplined behavior. They laid hands on civilians.
Didn't they deserve it? After how cruel and uncaring they were. Were it not for them, how many more infected would have made it? Please, Commander.
They laid hands on civilians. Listen, hang them, the instigators. Have my men do it. Tell them, Mephisto, Ground Slayer.
Yes, sir.
The rest, demerits.
Demerits, sir?
one more infraction. Death. All of this informed the leadership.
Right. Yes, sir.
Hate has grown too deep. If we don't fight, hate overwhelms. So blind us.
I never imagined reunion was so disorganized. When you always had such high expectations for discipline. Higher than most Ursus.
Most of them are not soldiers. They have no training. They must be taught. In discipline, we have strength.
As your conflict continues to intensify, neither side will be able to sue for peace. Perhaps you are right. This is the awakening Ursus needs.
General, you could help us.
I am afraid not, Patriot. I will never again step into a war.
Indeed, this is a war. You do not wish to fight. This, I know.
Ursus no longer has anything for me. Time has run its course. I no longer feel for the country what I once did. Forgive me. The man who stands before you is nothing but a spineless coward.
No! No, you are not. Would that my son have lived, I would have not walked this path. I understand you.
E. What? He was a great man. I am sorry.
I apologize, General. You did nothing. I am damned. Oh yes, the knife in your hand. Yes. You adopted the daughter of the enemy commander. My daughter is older. When next we meet, I will bring her.
I hope they get along.
Out of nowhere, the sound of scrambled running draws near when a handful of reunion soldiers rush in carrying injured members with them.
We have wounded. Get their blood types. Don't mix up the infected and uninfected. Quickly.
You can give the uninfected blood to the infected.
Who's the next of kin? Forget it. Just get to safety. Brit, move it.
Tallulah attack on Rhodes Island. This misunderstanding will be hard to clear up. I do not wish to fight you if this cannot be solved.
This may go beyond what we can solve ourselves.
General, it saddens me that we cannot, once again, fight side by side.
Listen to me, Patriot. I alone have never been able to decide the fate of Ursus. Countless generals before me have sought to become masters of all the Empire's destiny. And to a man, they all died miserable failures. Just as the many emperors have escaped the wrath of history, the Empire has weathered its crisis and has enjoyed its golden ages. The sorcerers can divine the Emperor's future. The ministers can plan the outcomes of our campaigns. Courtiers can study the shifting catastrophes. I have never participated in any political machinations. Not in the legislature, not in the army. Never. They have always embarrassed me with their confidence. Everyone who thought his victory was certain saw his dream shattered. Everyone who thought his survival assured is now dead.
Suddenly, the scene fades to black when we hear the voice of who I believe to be a young Hellagur.
Mama, what are we going to eat tonight? Potatoes again? I don't want to eat boiled potatoes again. Huh? You have to go fight? Mama, you don't have to fight. Uncle, does Mama have to fight? Does Mama have to go with you again? I want her to stay. I don't want Mama to go. Uncle, please make Mama stay. Daddy went with you. He never came back. I don't want to be alone again, Uncle.
Win or lose, a war is a war. And where we go, ruin follows. Only ruin. We are but pawns on the chessboard of war. And who cares for the pawns? Who cares to even know theirs?
You are correct. I am correct. One doesn't care who is correct. Yet you persist. I persist.
For what? Patriot of reunion, I ask you. No matter what meaning your war may hold, after however many years this Ursus campaign takes, when you have filled mass graves in a dozen cities, while their lives have meant anything, will anyone remember their names?
Names mean nothing. Warriors don't think of these things.
You call them warriors. Sometimes these less people cannot articulate their reasons for joining in battle. Now they have no chance to do so. I have grown tired of such things. I now wish to only to protect those around me. At least, this small thing is within my power. To Ursus, to the infected. This is all I can say.
I can't blame you, General. You don't need to face death again, or apathy will kill me, sooner or later. I am a warrior. I want my death to have meaning.
I am glad you have a reason to keep fighting. I truly hope you will find happiness.
General, listen.
I'm here.
You don't fear death. If you did, you would be at Rhodes Island. And you stay. You listen. You don't fear catastrophe. You want to know Reunion's goal.
In fact, I want to know what you plan for the infected of Ursus.
And I will tell you. You are tired of fighting. I fight for you, the rights of the infected, you and your children. I fight to free you, all. You are tired of fighting. Good. Wallow in disgust. To end war is also good. My days are numbered. I will fight to the end.
You truly are an Ursus, and this truly is a tragic war. It may come to pass that I never again set foot on Ursus soil. Listen well, Bodrocasti. You shall not be my enemy. Ever.
I do regret that I never served under you, General. You shall not be my enemy either. It's late, General. My men will get you out of the city easily.
I would not want to cause problems for you with your leadership.
You won't. General, she does not care.
Splendid. Then I accept.
General!
Hmm?
I hope, I pray that you find yourself a true home for yourself.
Ah.
Hellagur takes his leave when we pan back to Auxiliary, who's still in hiding while grieving over the loss of his comrade Scout.
Scout, why did you do this for me? I'm garbage. Why did you think I'm worth saving? What am I even doing? I just got a bunch of great intel off Reunion, but who am I supposed to give it to? Maybe we got them all wrong. I guess if we could clear up this misunderstanding, maybe we wouldn't have to... Oh right, this paper. Were there any other orders written on it? I can do a scout. Anything you tell me to do. I won't let the boss down.
The scene then fades to a flashback where we can see Scout talking to Auxiliary.
So, hey, I have a humble request, if I might be so bold. As recompense, I took the liberty of treating your wounds. You are, for the time being, out of mortal danger. See, I just ask that you entertain my frivolous trifles. My objective for this operation is to rescue the doctor. Amiya is quite insistent on this matter. She cannot be persuaded otherwise. Ace and Amiya are of one mind. They firmly believe that only by rescuing the doctor can Rhodes Island break this deadlock. Assuming the good doctor retains the same mental faculties as before, Rhodes Island might be looking at a golden age. But weak as I am not certain I have the fortitude to undertake such a golden age. Over the past 3 years, I have suffered many losses, and bid farewell to those like unto my own flesh and blood. I always believed that as long as one of us lived on, we could someday be reunited. In this spirit, I have served Rhodes Island, but having lost so much now, I see that even a perpetual pessimist like Misery seeks to bring back the Doctor. He believes with every fiber of his being that we are destined for a future of endless victories, that we shall put death and loss behind us. I do not share this belief. It is not that I doubt the Doctor's skill. The Doctor can indeed tip the scales. Without the Doctor, Kazda would be dust in the wind, and in fact, it was the Doctor who taught me what it means to fight, and yet, with the Doctor commanding us, looking into the Doctor's eye, one only sees victory. Nothing but victory. I see nothing save victory. Nothing else in those eyes. So I am left thinking, the truth that Kal'tsit is so unwilling to reveal, does it have to do with the Doctor? In these 3 years, why must we draw more and more crosses onto the photos of our friends? Why do these sacrifices grow more and more frequent? Why do we fight without understanding the fundamental goals of our organization? I dare not speculate. I cannot speculate. The Doctor must be forged in the crucible of war. And we force this professor to transform from an educator and a researcher into a war machine. And as such, it would be a truly grave mistake for us to ask the Doctor to march into battle. The Doctor should not command even one more battle, for Rhodes Island's sake and for the Doctor's own sake. Forgive my naivete. I recognize that my ideas are rather juvenile, and therefore, thus far, have been unwilling to disclose them. I can only imagine how the others would laugh at me, and I do not like to be laughed at. I had planned to carry these thoughts with me to my grave. But then it came down to this, and I found the hope that someone might join me in taking up this idea. I want the Doctor to begin anew. If the Doctor could live without any connection to Rhodes Island, if the Doctor could stand again having no memory of these preceding events, if the Doctor could avoid walking once more the path of war, then all would be well. I bear only this unrealistic hope. Forgive my verbosity. If you have no interest, then simply forget these words altogether. Right. There are 3 things you may not forget. First, say to the Doctor the following. I will never forget fighting side by side with you, Doctor. Second,
My squad. Slink, Tur, Scorpion, Lifa, Millum, Tipsy, Slana, Mimi, Mary, Thumbtack, Mudflower, and Macron. My squad. 12 of them. They broke through the enemy lines and held up their reinforcements. Were it not for them, I would have never been able to neutralize their mercenary commander. However, we lost all 12 of these exemplary operators in the course of their duties. I beg you, bear witness to their actions. Should one ask, you tell them for me, while no one will remember the names of my squad mates. They must remember that they died with honor. They did not shrink in the face of death. Of course, I know many have given their lives in service of the project that is Rhodes Island. No one's death is unique. We do not fight for any one individual life. To do so would dishonor their deaths. Tell the one who asks. They gave their lives for what they believed in. Finally, you must go on living for yourself. My Rhodes Island brother, whose name I do not know. I have said so much to you. Not that you should go off and die. Life is precious. You must live to pursue that bright future. That is all, my brother. Treasure your life. The flashbacks then come to a halt as Auxiliary is interrupted by the sound of Patriot calling out to him.
Warrior, you can hear my voice. You have a chance to escape. Wait until nightfall. Head south. Avoid the light. You have one chance tonight. Or there are many in Chernobog who need help. You can see them. The choice is yours.
Boss. Scout. Our brothers. I'll do it.
This concludes the Operational Intelligence File, the Anonymous One's War.